It's time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, KCAL 9 presents the Dodgers as they take on the Atlanta Braves. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Tuesday evening to you, wherever you may be. Dodgers-Braves, Game 2 for the Dodgers. Aaron Harang will go to the mound with a record of 1-1, and countering him for Atlanta will be a young left-hander by the name of Mike Minor with a record of 2-1. The Dodgers won the series from Atlanta last year, 5 out of 7, and they got the jump on them last night, so they're 1-0 against this edition of the 2012 Braves. By the way, by winning last night, the Dodger record at home, 7 wins and no losses. The best home record for the start of a season, 2009, when they were 13-0. So with all of that in mind, pull up a chair. We'll get to the ball game right after this.
Presenting the 24th Annual Ed Interline Memorial Award.
Dodger Baseball on KCAL 9 is brought to you by Jack in the Box, where the entire menu is available all day long, and by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good evening to you wherever you may be. Dodgers are home at Dodger Stadium to take on the Atlanta Braves in Game 2 of the 3-game series. For Freddie Gonzalez, his ball club was playing very well until they had a sizable meltdown last night. They came in here having won 8 of the last 11 and 10 out of 12. However, the Dodgers nailed them last night, so we'll see about tonight. And here's Atlanta's lineup. Michael Bourne leading off in center field. Martin Prado to be exact, in left field. Freddie Freeman, the player of the week, is at first base. Brian McCann, the all-star catcher, behind the plate. Dan Uggla at second base. Chipper Jones, celebrating his 40th birthday today, will be at third base. Jason Hayward in right field. Young Tyler Pasternicki is the shortstop, and Mike Minor on the mound. On the mound for the Dodgers, the 33-year-old right-hander, Aaron Harang, with a record of 1-1. Harang 1-3 lifetime in his career against Atlanta. Aaron, a big boy, 6'7", and a good 260 at least. Coming off a brilliant outing earlier this year. Remember when he struck out 9 straight. Padres finished up the outing with 13. Of course, it's no surprise if you go back over National League pitchers the last 8 years, you'll find out that he's third behind Roy Oswalt and Carlos Zambrano in strikeouts, though he really should not have been that surprised. Michael Bourne will lead it off. He's been a hot hitter, 10 of 11, runs very well, and will hit the ball on the ground 2 out of every 3 times. He looks at the first pitch and misses. Ball 1, 1-0. Bourne last night had 3 ground balls, 1 of them a bunt single, and 1 ball in the air when he flied to left. Well, that's basically the way he plays. The 1-0 pitch is swung on, hit in the air into the gap in right center, and there's nobody there. So a rabbit is loose as Bourne goes into second base, standing with a double. So Michael has now hit safely in 11 out of 12, and we are underway big time as Michael Bourne opens up with a double to the gap in right center. Nice evening, about 62 degrees, no appreciable wind as Kemp has to go to the wall to get the ball back to the infield. For Michael Bourne, who has done a tremendous job leading off, that would be his 5th double of the year. The batter now is Martin Prado. Prado, the right-hand hitter, plays third base in the outfield. A very productive hitter, somewhat like a Mark Ellis. And we'll see if he can get his man over to third. He does a very good job in doing just that. Harang is very high. And the first pitch, 1 ball and no strikes. So Martin Prado checking in at 258. He has a home run and 9 runs batted in. He rarely swings and misses. One reason why they hit him in the number 2 slot. The 1-0 pitch is swung on and grounded foul outside of first down the line. And the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Prado had a little string of 5 straight games where he had at least 1 RBI. He's also scored 5 in the last 6 games. So he's a tough hitter. Harang with a runner at second and nobody out, and D. Gordon trying to bird dog Bourne. The next pitch, ground ball to the right side. That figured. Ellis throws him out. So Prado and Ellis play very much the same way. Get the man over, and Bourne is now at third as Martin taps it to the right side. So 1 away, and now they leave it up to the player of the week, Freddie Freeman. All Freeman has done during the week, hit safely in 6 out of 7 to the tune of a .478 batting average. So Freddie checks in hitting .297. He has 3 home runs. He's a first ball hitter, and sure enough goes after it and fouls it away. 0-1 the count. Freeman, a local boy from Orange, California. Big fella at 6'5", 220. He'll be 23 in September. The left-hand hitter fouls off another, and the count 0-2. For Freeman, He is the highest percentage of swinging at the first pitch, so it was no surprise. He's up there about 60% of the time. If it's around the plate, he's after it. 0-2 the count. Here comes Harang over the top. Fastball high and away. Ball one. Another thing, although Freeman is so aggressive, they rarely call him out on strikes. He's number one in the lowest rate of called third strikes. The 1-2 pitch on the way. Harang delivers. Bad ball. Chased and missed. Freeman not only went after a pitch way out of the strike zone, he also tried to uppercut him. And of course, that's a compound fracture. He was trying, of course, to get the ball in the air to the outfield and pick up the run. Interesting for the Braves, they are struggling. Last night, they were 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. The Dodgers were 6 for 11. So here is Brian McCann, the all-star catcher, hitting .264. They load up the right side. In fact, they have that little diamond defense where they have Ellis 15 feet out on the grass, and D. Gordon goes across to the other side of second base. So McCann, they play him to pull, but the outfield is fanned out straight away. Brian McCann hitting .258 against right-handers, and Harang comes to him, and the next one dropped in there nicely for a strike, and the count 0-2. Over the last dozen games, McCann is hitting better than .300, and he had a 4-hit game earlier on the 13th. Strike two pitch to Bryan is foul back to the screen. He was jammed in on the hands, just did get a piece of it. So Aaron Harang served up a double to Michael Bourne. Prado did what you expected him to do, grounded the other way to get Bourne over, and then Freeman helped out, striking out on a very bad pitch. Strike two pitch on the way is taken low and inside to McCann, and the count 1-2. An all-star catcher, a fixture behind the plate. He had last night off. Very tough hitter to strike out, even though they have 2 strikes on him. Harang ready and delivers, and it is swung on and foul back. In fact, they figured out with McCann, he strikes out about 8% of the time. He has not been called out on strikes. There's only 9 players in the league who have not been called out yet. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Bryan, low at his feet, and a 2-ball 2-strike count. So Aaron Harang, 6'7", 260, 34 years old come the 9th of May. Aaron has been a workhorse, giving his club, whether San Diego or Cincinnati, a lot of innings. Big man ready, and the 2-2 pitch. McCann, it's a line drive right at Gordon, who's on the left side of second base. So a base hit is stolen by the way the Dodgers were deployed defensively. They leave Bourne at third, and at the end of half an inning, no score. And the Dodgers coming up now, and here's the way they stack up tonight. D. Gordon leading off at shortstop, Mark Ellis at second base, and then Matt Kemp in center. Juan Rivera with a left-hander going plays first base tonight. James Loney sits down. Andre Ethier is in right field. Jerry Hairston takes over in left field. Juan Uribe coming off a 4-hit game last night, followed by the catcher A.J. Ellis and then Aaron Harang. Out on the mound for Atlanta, he is 24 years old. He'll be 25 the middle of December. Young left-hander by the name of Mike Minor. He's from Chapel Hill, Tennessee. Went to school at Vanderbilt University. Chapel Hill, a very small town. He says there's 2 stoplights, a drive-in, and 3 gas stations, and that's it. Well, Minor is very much a major part of the Atlanta development, and we'll see how he goes against D. Gordon. The left-hander deals. Gordon has a look, and it's in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Gordon batting .238, 3 RBIs, had a bunt single, so they have to watch him carefully. In last night's game, he had 2 base hits and a scoring fly ball. He takes off the plate, and the count 1-1 strike. In Minor's brief career, he has pitched far better at home than on the road. 6-2 at home, 3-4 on the road. The 1-1 pitch, full swing foul, and the count 1-2. Minor, the Braves feel that Minor and Brandon Beachy, and this is really praise, but there are people such as Don Sutton of Atlanta who say that you're looking at the next Glavine and Smoltz when you look at Minor and Beachy. The next one in for strike 3 called, and down goes D. Gordon. So that indeed praise from Caesar, and it'll be interesting to see how those 2 young pitchers develop. But to even have your names mentioned like Glavine and Smoltz, that's rather remarkable. So 1 away, and the batter now will be Mark Ellis. By the way, Minor is coming off a great start as Ellis hitting .246 checks in. Chipper Jones plays about even with the bag at third. The outfield shaded to right field, and the first pitch in for a strike, and the count 0-1. So the gap is in left center, and they play Ellis to go the other way. Minor working from the third base side of the rubber, and the strike 1 pitch is hit over the second baseman Ugla and into right field for a dunk single. So the Dodgers wore out the Braves last night with a blooper here and a bleeder there, and now Ellis begins with a flare to right, and that'll bring up Matt Kemp. Dodgers, by the way, are 5-2 in the early going against left-hand starters. And for the Dodgers, having won last night's game, should they win tonight and or tomorrow, they will then have won 15 of the last 17 series they played going back to last year. Watch Matt Kemp now, especially on the first pitch. When he puts the first pitch in play, Matt's hitting .429. He has 25 home runs swinging at the first pitch. Minor delivers, and the first one is taken low, ball 1, 1-0. So Matt Kemp batting .460, 9 home runs, 22 runs batted in. Ellis at first with 1 out. Juan Rivera on deck. A little while ago we mentioned about Minor's marvelous game. It was his second start of the season. Kemp swings right through one, and the count 1-1. He allowed 1 hit in the first inning of that game, then did not allow a hit until the 8th inning, and retired 19 straight from the second until the 8th inning. So he's quite a young pitcher, just starting really his career. Came up briefly last year and the year before for the so-called cup of coffee. The 1-1 pitch to Kemp. Inside fastball at the shins. He hits 92 at the pitch, and the count 2-1. The pride of Vanderbilt University, and Minor is one of those young men who is not afraid to speak up. We'll tell you why in a moment. The left-hander ready, and then backs off the rubber. At Vanderbilt, the baseball coach calls all the pitches, and Minor was struggling. And he finally went to the coach's office, closed the door, and said, "I want to talk to you." 2-1 pitch. Kemp swings and misses, and they count 2-2. And Minor said, "Look, I can't pitch your game. I have to pitch my game. I don't want you calling my pitches. I'll be on the mound. I'll be the one who adjusts to the situations, and I'm the one who's going to make my pitches." And the coach, dumbstruck by the youngster, said, "Well, all right." And from then on, he was a gem and a first-round pick. The 2-2 pitch on the way to Matt Kemp. Inside at the kneecaps. 3-2 the count. Waiting on deck, Juan Rivera. For Matt Kemp, he has struck out 15 times. We'll see about Ellis at first with 1 out, whether he's going or not. Minor out of a stretch. The left-hander can look right at Ellis. Comes out of a stretch, stares at first. Still staring. Ellis does not go. Pitch is hit in the air to right field. Hayward has a play. Jason goes back and makes the catch. And returning to first is Mark Ellis. So 2 down in the first inning. And the batter now will be Juan Rivera. Juan Rivera either playing left field or first base. Playing first base against a left-hander tonight. So James Loney sits down. Rivera hitting .241. He has 7 runs batted in. Mike Minor, when he was at Vanderbilt, as he works on Rivera, majored in sociology. But to give you an idea of what was on his mind, he was asked, "Why sociology?" With a pitch to Rivera inside, ball 1. And he said, "I didn't work sociology to work in the field. It was a major with the classes that were most suited to the baseball schedule." So he was going to school to learn to play baseball. 1 ball and no strikes. Left-hander goes to first base. Back to the bag easily is Mark Ellis. Minor, by the way, is a good size, 6'4", 210, 24 years old. He has a nickname in college. They called him Spike because he used to wear his hair spiked up, and they would call him Mike the Spike. The left-hander out of a stretch, and the 1-0 pitch, and that's in there nicely for a strike. Basically, fastball, slider, curve, and change. So Minor working on the veteran Rivera, and Rivera taking a look at Tim Wallach. With 2 out, first inning, no score. Out of a stretch goes Minor, and the 1-1 pitch is swung on, a drive to left down the line, hooking in the corner, and fair ball, home run. Juan Rivera on a 1-1 pitch hits it inside the foul pole, deep in the left field stands, and the Dodgers are on the board, 2-0. For Rivera, that would be his first home run of the year. It's also the first home run allowed by Mike Minor. So the Dodgers strike first and hard. And now we'll bring up Andre Ethier. Ball had plenty behind it and carried all the way about 5 rows to the second level. So that's a big-time home run by Juan Rivera. And Mike Minor burned here in the first inning and down 2-0. Now Andre Ethier checking in. Minor into the windup and deals and gets the first pitch in for a strike. And the count 0-1. So Rivera gets the Dodgers off on the right foot. And Andre Ethier now checking in. Ethier is hitting .292 against left-hand pitching. Here's the strike 1 pitch on the way. That's a little high. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Dodgers trying to go 8-0 in the early going at home. The 2009 club, remember, went 13-0 before finally stumbling. 1 ball and 1 strike to Andre Ethier. Next one, fastball up at 92, ball 2, 2-1 to count. Things going well for the Dodgers. They are 13-4, sparked by Rivera tonight. They began 3.5 games in front of the Giants. A sour note, however, in the bullpen. Matt Guerrier, with a tender right elbow, has had to go on the DL. Though it's not all beer and Skittles for Don Mattingly. 2-1 the count for Andre Ethier. Interesting what the Dodgers are doing in the first inning against opposing teams. They've scored 19 runs to 5. High foul off third, that will go out of play. So including Rivera's home run, which they tell us traveled 437 feet. That's the 20th Loge level home run at Dodger Stadium. The most famous, I guess, would be way back in the 1963 World Series. Frank Howard hit one up there against Whitey Ford. It might still be going except for the seats. 2-2 the count. Here comes Minor, and there's a hopper. In fact, not a hopper. It stayed up, caught by Uggla for the out. So Ethier, a soft line drive to the second baseman. However, Rivera hits a towering home run to left, and at the end of an inning, Dodgers 2, Braves nothing. Second inning, Dodgers leading thanks to Juan Rivera's first home run of the year. Dodgers 2, Braves nothing, and it'll be Dan Uggla to start it off, and Dan takes a strike and the count 0-1. Uggla in last night's ball game had a base hit to left and a 8th inning home run. Dan waiting. He has 3 home runs, 9 RBIs, hits a high fly ball, very playable. Kemp had a little trouble for the moment, now moves over and makes the catch. So Uggla doesn't hang around, 1 away. Well, now on his way to the Hall of Fame, Chipper Jones stops off to play here. It is great to see him and great to know that his great career continues for at least this year. One of the things that Chipper Jones has paid the price, he has been on the DL 12 times throughout his career. Of course, the number 1 guy on the DL is Kerry Wood. Kerry Wood just went on the DL again for the 16th time. So here is Chipper, 40 years old today. Takes a look left-handed, and the pitch is low, ball 1. 1-0 the count. Chipper's the only switch hitter in Major League history to have a 300 career average and hit at least 300 home runs. He swings, hits one to center. Kemp hesitates and goes back and makes the catch. So 2 fly balls, 2 out in the second inning, and the batter will be Jason Hayward. For Chipper Jones, he started his career with the Braves in 1993. I guess the longest career that I know of in the major leagues, Nolan Ryan. Nolan Ryan's career spanned 27 years. A lot of years to play this game on that level. All right, 2 down. Here's Jason Hayward, and he takes low, ball 1. Hayward had a great rookie year. In fact, his very first major league at bat opening day 2 years ago. He hit a 3-run home run. Atlanta just went wild over him. Last year he hurt his shoulder and he wasn't the same hitter. He takes outside. 2 balls and no strikes to Jason Hayward. Jason, a Georgia boy, and they figure he will become a great player. The 2-0 pitch on the way. Another fly ball. Matt Kemp's going to get them all. So Matt picks it off. 3 fly balls to center, and down go the Braves. And at the end, quickly, of an inning and a half, 2-0 Dodgers. Lead the Braves 2-0. First inning home run by Juan Rivera. Now it'll be Jerry Hairston, Juan Uribe, followed by A.J. Ellis and Mike Minor, who was burned on that home run by Rivera, ready to go to work. Hairston made a couple of absolutely dazzling plays on the road, playing third base, but he's in left field tonight. And the left-hander's first pitch to him is down and away, ball 1. Hairston, among other things, has hit safely in 7 of 9. He has made 7 starts. This would be number 8. He's also been a late in the game hitter. From the 7th inning on, Jerry's hitting about 365. He looks at a strike, and the count 1-1. The Braves clogged up, had a leadoff double by Michael Bourne, and went 0 for 3 with a runner in scoring position. So Atlanta is now 0 for 9 offensively with a runner in scoring position. The 1-1 pitch on the way to Hairston, swung on, line drive, roped into center field. So Hairston opens up the second inning with a base hit, and the batter will be Juan Uribe.
Number 5, Juan Uribe.
Uribe last night came up with 4 hits. He had a ground ball single to right. He had a flare single to right. He had a fly ball single that dropped inside the foul line to drive in a couple. And the one ball he hit hard was a line drive single to center. But coming up with those 4 hits, his average now at 286. Minor out of a stretch. Mike deals. First pitch in for a strike, and the count 0-1. For Minor, among other things, as he works on Uribe, leadoff hitters have given him a bad time. Gordon struck out, but now Hairston leads off with a single. In fact, as far as you break down Minor's game, those first 2 hitters in an inning usually give him a bad time. Minor out of a stretch, looks at Hairston, goes over there. Jerry back on the bag. So young Mike Minor down 2-0 thanks to Juan Rivera's home run. The left-hander hides the ball back of his hip, now out of his stretch. Hairston a very short lead. Minor delivers and it's fouled away off the protective railing in front of the Atlanta dugout. 0-2 the count to Juan Uribe. Uribe, if you've been following the Dodgers, you realize that he's had a sore wrist, but back in the lineup, and I'm sure got a big boost of confidence by his game last night. So Juan up there, 0-2 the count. Minor set, looks at Hairston, high leg kick, and comes back with a pitch that's foul back, and the count stays 0-2. Juan Uribe battling Mike Minor. We talked a moment ago about Minor being a major part of Atlanta's rebuilding. 2 years ago when he signed his contract, it was almost a $2.5 million bonus contract. That's how high they are on him. The strike 2 pitch on the way, a bouncer back to the mound. Minor takes his time to Ugla, back to first in time for the double play. So Uribe a comebacker, and the DP 1-4-3 with Ellis coming up. Interesting that Ugla turned it on a ball hit back. You would expect the throw to have gone to Pasternicki, and both Pasternicki, the shortstop, who was pretty deep, and Ugla coming to the bag almost the same time. So they get a 1-4-3 double play, and the batter is A.J. Ellis, hitting .250. A.J. with a home run, 6 runs batted in, and takes a strike. Dodgers 2, Braves nothing, second inning. For the Dodgers, having won the season series from Atlanta last year, that was news enough. They won 5 of 7 from Atlanta. They hadn't beaten the Braves in a series since 2002. And for that matter, they've only won 4 series against Atlanta in the last 20 years. Next pitch hit slowly wide to third. Nice pick by Chipper Jones to throw him out. And that'll be that for the Dodgers. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. And at the end of 2, Dodgers 2, Braves nothing. In favor of the Dodgers, third inning, Juan Rivera hits a home run with Mark Ellis aboard to give the Dodgers the edge. Now it'll be the number 8 hitter in the Atlanta lineup, young Tyler Pasternicki. He'll be followed by Mike Minor and then Michael Bourne. Pasternicki is a chip off the old block. His dad Cliff played 10 games at third base for the Kansas City Royals back in 1983. Tyler has a look at a pitch low and away, ball 1. By the way, his father is still working for the Blue Jays as a scout. 1 ball and no strikes. Pasternicki takes off the plate, ball 2. He appeared as a pinch hitter in the 9th inning last night and struck out. 6'1", 170. They say really a good shortstop. Takes low and away. So Harang now is behind 3-0. Harang gave up a leadoff double to Bourne and then retired 6 in a row since. 3-0 pitch, and that's in for a strike. And the count 3-1. The Braves sent Yunel Escobar to the Blue Jays, getting among others Tyler Pasternicki. He takes the next one for a strike, and the count 3-2. Pasternicki with Mike Minor, the pitcher, on deck. 3-2 to the Braves shortstop, right-hand batter, and he lays off a bad ball for ball 4. So Pasternicki goes to first with the walk. Minor coming up. A reminder, tomorrow is USC night at Dodger Stadium. With the purchase of this special ticket package, you'll receive a ticket to the Coca-Cola All-You-Can-Eat Pavilion and a limited edition USC-themed portable speaker. Tickets for the package limited, only available by purchasing at Dodgers.com/USC. Minor's up there. Dodgers figure he's up there to bunt. Left-hand pitcher, bats right-handed. And the first pitch, he shows bunt and fouls it away. In Minor's young career, as he looks down to Brian Snitker coaching at third. Minor's had 8 at-bats. He is 0 for 8. He has struck out 3 of the 8 times, and he does not have a sacrifice. Harang looks in, getting a sign from A.J. Ellis. Uribe well in on the grass. The next pitch is bunted foul, and it was a fastball up and in at 90. And Minor staggered when that fastball hit the bat, and it went foul. 0-2 the count. So Aaron Harang, a rather imposing figure at 6'7", standing high up on top of the mound, 10 inches above. The strike 2 pitch, and Minor takes over his head, ball 1. 1-2 the count. Of course, the Dodgers have had big men before. Billy Ashley, John Candelaria, John Duffy, Mark Hendrickson, Big Frank Howard, Sean Maloney, Rick Sutcliffe, all 6'7" or better. 1-2 the count to Mike Minor. Harang at the belt, turns, throws to first, and Pasternicki back on the bag. Minor with Michael Bourne on deck. Harang, who started the night with an earned run average of over 5, comes back over the top with a fastball high. He hits 91 on the gun, and the count goes to 2-2. Dodgers lead 2-0. We're in the top of the third. Juan Rivera hits one into the seats, second deck, left field. Somewhat of a historic home run. The 2-2 pitch on the way, bunted in the air, foul. He's done. So Minor strikes out trying to bunt, and with 1 away becomes the second strikeout victim for Harang. So now Michael Bourne, who doubled in the first inning, coming up. Bourne, a long look. Michael hitting .343. He's hit safely in 11 of his last 12. As we told you, he is basically a ground ball hitter, which with his speed is what they want him to do anyway. When you have a fellow like a Bourne or a D. Gordon, you would much rather have them hit the ball on the ground. I mean, Bourne has 1 home run last year, 1 home run the year before. So Michael checks in, no home runs this year. Harang set, ready and delivers, and Bourne takes a strike, and the count 0-1. Michael again keeping an eye on Brian Snitker. The plate umpire tonight is Darrell Cousins. Darrell, 33 years, a major league umpire. Here's the strike 1 pitch on the way. Harang delivers, and it's swung on and missed. 0-2. Darrell Cousins has been a major league umpire 33 years. He is second to Cowboy Joe West, who's been umpiring in the big leagues 34 years. Among other things, Darrell Cousins was an umpire when the Dodgers won that great World Series back in 1988. Strike two pitch is swung on, hit in the air. Coming over is Hairston to make the running catch for the out. Racing back to first and getting back in time is Pasternicki. Nice play by Jerry Hairston. There's that fly ball that he'll hit about one every 3 at-bats for Michael Bourne. So with 2 out, Martin Prado coming up. Prado did so much like a Mark Ellis. He came up with Bourne, who had doubled, grounded to the right side to get Bourne to third. Pretty much of a contact hitter, no power. Prado with 1 home run, 9 runs batted in. Harang turns, throws to first, keeping an eye on Pasternicki. 2-0 in favor of the Dodgers. Martin Prado out of Maracay in Venezuela. Signed as a free agent by the Braves 11 years ago and takes off the plate, ball 1. Growing up in Venezuela, Martin Prado watching a lot of Braves games and fell in love with Chipper Jones. Hardly an idea that he even thought that one day he'd be Chipper's teammate. Prado, right-hand batter. Harang ready, a look over at first, and the 1-0 pitch, slider off the plate, ball 2. 2-0 the count. Harang, couple of fastballs, the sinker and the 4-seamer, slider, change, and he'll throw in a couple of curveballs once in a while. Prado waiting in the 2-0 pitch, and he takes a high strike. 2-1. Prado, and we mentioned last night, talking about his mom, who watched him play, never missed a game for 15 years when he was growing up. He takes off the plate. He says he remembers one time he was playing center field. Nothing going on. He had his arms crossed, kind of bored. The next thing you know, he heard a voice, "Stop picking your nose, boy." And it was his mom trying to keep him back in the game. He was embarrassed, said, "Hey, Mom, don't yell at me like that." He takes a strike, 3-2. But he got the point. He never forgot it, and here he is in the big leagues. 3-2 to Martin Prado. With 2 out, Pasternicki ready to go. And the pitch of the plate is hit down the right field line, slicing foul, and back into the lower deck. So Pasternicki back to first. 3-2 the count to Martin Prado. In checking Prado's numbers in that number 2 slot, came in hitting right around 260. He has walked 7 times and he has struck out 9. So 3-2, Pasternicki goes. Prado swings, ground ball smothered by Rivera, who gets up and takes it to the bag, taking a base hit away from Martin Prado. So the night belongs to Rivera, at least for 2.5 innings. And at the end of that span, Dodgers 2, Braves nothing. A 2-run home run and a glove, taking a base hit from Martin Prado. Now it'll be Aaron Harang to lead it off, followed by D. Gordon and then Mark Ellis. Harang fouling off the first pitch, and the count 0-1. Dodgers lead 2-0 as Harang starts it off against Mike Minor. Harang is 0 for 6, struck out twice. Minor looks in to get a sign from McCann, and the next pitch kind of waved at and missed. 0-2. Dodgers and Braves. Boy, what great ball games they've had down through the years, whether it was in Boston or Milwaukee or Atlanta. 0-2. Minor ready, delivers in there for strike 3 called. That'll do it for Harang. So 1 away. Strikeout number 2 for young Minor. You know, be sure to bring the kids to Dodger Stadium Sunday at 1:10. Dodgers and Nationals. First 15,000 kids 14 and under in attendance receive a Clayton Kershaw replica jersey. Compliments of Breyer's Grand Ice Cream. For tickets, go to Dodgers.com/promotion. Billingsley alongside of Kershaw. They'll go back-to-back against the Nationals starting Friday. Meanwhile, here's Gordon, who struck out in the first inning. Minor's pitch bunted up along third, has to be fielded by Chipper, who throws him out. The Chipper Jones, judging that the ball might very well stay fair, opted to make the play and got his man. Of course, for 20 years, you realize how many balls he's fielded at third base. We mentioned a little while ago about the fact that I remembered that Nolan Ryan had the longest career, 27 years. Cap Anson, going way back, also had 27 years. But Chipper in his 20th. So the batter now, Mark Ellis, single to right field and takes ball 1. Tommy John, he of Tommy John surgery fame, was really miraculous. He wound up winning more games after the surgery than he had won before the surgery. Ellis takes a strike. Tommy John had a career that spanned 26 years in the major league. 1-1 to count. Light breeze blowing out to right field. Minor comes back inside, turning his hitter around. 2-1 to count. 91-mile-an-hour fastball. So Ellis flared a single to right in the first inning, and with 2 out, Rivera then hit one inside the foul pole of the second deck, and the Dodgers lead 2-0. Matt Kemp on deck, and the 2-1 pitch. Ellis swings, doesn't get it, and the count 2-2. Yeah, thinking back over the years to the Boston Braves, first no-hitter I ever saw, Vern Bickford of the Braves pitched a no-hitter against the Brooklyn Dodgers. Yeah, you're right. That's a long time ago. 2-2 the count to Mark Ellis. Here comes Minor. Fastball sprayed foul, second deck. One of the big stories years ago in Boston, Dodgers in a tough pennant race back in 1950. They were going to eventually lose to the Phillies, but they lost a very tough game on a questionable call, and somebody with the Dodgers kicked a hole in the door to the umpire's room. That was a huge story. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Ellis takes low and inside, ball 3. Because it was a sizable hole, and because they figured he had the biggest foot, a lot of people thought Don Newcomb kicked it, but no one ever really found out. Ah, yes, those were the days. 3-2 the count. Minor turns on the rubber. Left-hander's fastball is in the air to dead center. Bourne going back, still on the grass, reaches up on the track and makes the catch. So a long out, a 1-2-3 inning, and at the end of 3, Dodgers 2, Braves nothing. with a man aboard, and that's the story. It's 2-0 Dodgers as we go to the fourth inning. It'll be Freddie Freeman, Brian McCann, and then Dan Uggla in that order. Freddie went to El Modena High School in Orange, though a local boy coming back. Big man, 6'5", 220, and has put up some good numbers. Takes low and inside, and we're underway. Freeman pressing in his first at-bat with one out and a runner at third. Struck out trying to uppercut a pitch up around his head. 2-0 the count to Freddie. Another story of a father helping a youngster grow up. His dad would take his lunch hour at 2 o'clock when Freddie was getting out of school. Foul ball. And his dad would take him to a park and pitch to him for an hour over at Handy Park. Then the son would go back to the office with his dad. Freddie would do his homework, and his father would go back to work at the accounting firm. 2-2 the count to Freddie Freeman. Freeman, a second-round pick by the Braves 5 years ago, and everybody's eyes were opened in 2010. He won the International League Rookie of the Year honors. The reason, as he uppercuts that, foul ball, Uribe in pursuit, but no play. The reason everyone's eyes opened in 2010 when he was Rookie of the Year in the International League, he was the first Braves farmhand to win those honors since Chipper Jones in 1993. Off the plate. Everybody in the organization said, uh-oh, what have we got here? Well, they have themselves quite a fine-looking young first baseman, Freddie Freeman. And he pokes a line drive, and it stayed up for D. Gordon to make the catch. Started to sink, but it stayed up just long enough. So one away in the fourth, and Brian McCann coming up. Brian McCann, marvelous all-star catcher. McCann is big for a catcher. He's 6'3", about 220. He's the only major league catcher in the last 65 years to have 4 or more RBIs and a stolen base in the same game 3 times. Off-speed breaking ball for a strike. Came up there at 74. Brian hitting .259, 3 home runs, 9 runs batted in. Hits a fly ball to right field. It's playable. Andre is there. 2 down. So in the game, Michael Bourne led off the game with a long double into the gap in right center. And that's it. He's gotten everybody has harangue except for the walk to Pasternicki. So with 2 down, here's Dan Uggla, who flied to center. On deck, Chipper Jones. Uggla, certainly a home run threat. Hit one last night, but he's going to hit a lot of them before he's through. He's the 3rd player in Major League history, primarily a second baseman, to have 6 straight years of at least 25 home runs. You get into Ryne Sandberg and Alfonso Soriano when you start talking. And you may remember last year, from July into August, Dan Uggla had a 33-game hitting streak. That's a lot of hits for a streak for a guy who strikes out a lot. 2-0. He swings as hard as he can just about all the time. He has struck out as much as 171 times. Last year, even though he did hit safely in 33 straight, he struck out 156 times. The owl, which is what Uggla means in Swedish. 2-2 the count. Dan, 5'11", 200. Just turned 32, out of Louisville, Kentucky. went to school at the University of Memphis and was an 11th round pick for the Diamondbacks. 3-2. So Uggla runs the count all the way, and Chipper Jones waits on deck. 3-2. And little ground ball to short. Gordon is there, up with it cleanly, throws him out. So a nice easy inning for Aaron Harang. Down go the Braves, and at the end of 3.5 innings, it's still 2-0 Dodgers. Is brought to you by Carl's Jr. $6 burgers made with 100% Black Angus beef, and by Nissan. For great offers across our full lineup, visit ChooseNissan.com or visit your local dealer now. Bottom of the 4th inning, Dodgers lead 2-0 on the wings of the home run by Juan Rivera, his first home run of the year. By the way, the Braves have hit 20 home runs this year. The Dodgers have now hit 16. And here's Matt Kemp. Ball 1 off the plate. Matt, fly ball to right field in the first inning. One ball and no strikes. Just off the plate, 2-0 the count. Matt showing some discipline taking that pitch, especially when he knows how hard and how far he can hit a ball the other way. They don't completely commit, but Uggla is almost behind second base. The outfield deep straight away. 3-0 the count to Matt Kemp. There you can see the deployment. Uggla handling the middle, pass to Nicky deep in the grass. The outfield straight away. 3-0 to Matt Kemp. Could get a green light. Taking, didn't like the pitch to drive. 3-1. Kemp, Rivera, and Ethier. Bottom of the 4th inning. Dodgers 2 runs, 3 hits. Braves no runs, 1 hit. Leadoff double. Fastball fouled away. Minor comes in at 92. Matt couldn't get around on it. 3-2 the count. Juan Rivera with that first inning home run with Ellis aboard. We use the word historic in the sense you don't see very many hit up there. It wasn't the first one, but he joined some rather illustrious company. 3-2. Fouled at the plate. Dodgers scored in the first inning. The pitchers have certainly settled down since. Matt had a 10-game hitting streak snapped on Saturday. 3-2. And he probably bangs it for a base hit. Kemp a turn at first just to put a little heat on Michael Bourne. And now here comes Juan Rivera with that big home run in the first inning. It's going to wind up inside the left field foul pole and in the second deck. That means in all the years playing here, he is the 20th member of the Dodger Stadium Loge level home run club. The first, as we mentioned, Frank Howard in the 1963 World Series. Didn't happen again until big Dave Kingman hit one up there 13 years later. And that's a line drive foul. Might have cracked the bat. He's checking the handle. That gives us time to also add a footnote. Members number 16 and number 18 hitting the ball up there in that Lowe's level. Matt Kemp did it in 2007, and the Braves catcher Brian McCann did it in 2010. McCann went to the Lowe's being a left-handed batter. He hit his home run second level in right field. So you just don't see very many when you realize the ballpark opened in '62. Not many reach the second level. Oh, 0-2 the count to Rivera. Kemp at first. Still 0-2. For Juan Rivera, his first home run of the year. Juan has certainly been around. This is his 12th year in the big leagues and his second with the Dodgers. His home run, the second that he has ever hit against Atlanta in his career. Of course, come to think of it, he hadn't played Atlanta that much, only 23 games. So young Mike Minor down 2-0 here in the fourth inning. Kemp at first, nobody out. Rivera, Ethier, and Hairston. Minor is working on a good move to first base. They say he developed a rather exceptional one in college. Oh, 0-2. And a little pop fly going out to get it is Ugla. Makes the catch. They have a chance to double up Kemp, and they got him. Matt Kemp trying to get to first base, and he is nailed on a heads-up play by Dan Ugla. Oh my, says Matt Kemp. But it was a wonderful play by Ugla to go out and make that twisting catch and then quickly have the presence of mind to get the ball back to first base. As soon as he got up, he was firing to first, and the throw very close. Big split by Freddie Freeman. Matt trying to get back and called out. So a 4-3 double play on the little pop fly. And with two out, Andre Ethier the batter. Matt thought surely he was safe, but he lost the battle. Only a verbal battle, and very brief at that. Ball one to Ethier. Andre, line drive that was heading toward center field, but Ugla, with a man on, was almost behind second base and made the catch. 1 ball, no strikes. Fouled away. When the Braves come up in the fifth inning, they'll have Chipper Jones, Jason Hayward, and then the young shortstop, Tyler Pastornicky. How does Tyler Pastornicky feel playing with Chipper Jones on the left side of the infield? You're a baby and you're playing with someone who's heading for the Hall of Fame. 1-1. A drive into left center. Bourne, a late start, but picks it off. So the Dodgers are done despite the leadoff single. And at the end of 4, Dodgers 2, Braves nothing. Southern California Honda dealers, and by Time Warner Cable. Enjoy all the things you love better. Internet, TV, and home phone from Time Warner Cable. Dodgers holding on to a 2-0 lead in the 5th inning. Chipper Jones will lead it off, followed by Jason Hayward and then Tyler Pasternicki. You could write a book on Chipper Jones as he first ball hits a high drive into right field, and it's going to go out. That would be the 5th home run that Chipper has hit on his birthday. He was hitting .435 on his birthday. Another note we had prepared, that's the 13th home run that Chipper has hit in his career in Dodger Stadium. One other note, and there are so many. Chipper Jones has played with 363 different teammates with the Braves. The number 363 is known in Braves history as the number of victories for Hall of Famer left-hander Warren Spahn. Though no surprise he would hit it out. And the batter now, Jason Hayward. Chipper has been on the DL. He has a surgically repaired left knee. There's a drive into right field, base hit. So the Braves now have the tying run at first base and the single. Take another look at Chipper. Looked like a fastball above the belt and right out over the plate, and he knew what to do with it. For Jones, we mentioned there are so many notes. How about this one? Only Frankie Frisch, the Fordham Flash, beats Chipper Jones' career. Frankie hit .316, Chipper .310. He's up there number 3 in home runs by switch hitters. Mantle .536, Eddie Murray .504, Chipper Jones .422, including tonight. Now they have to worry about Hayward. The big right fielder runs well as Chipper takes a breather in the dugout. Hayward is 6 for 6 in stolen bases. So Chipper, as usual, leads the way. And ball 1, 1-0. Chipper has over 2,500 hits, and young Freddie Freeman over to give him a big hug. One ball and no strikes. Pasternicki walked in the 3rd inning. And now Harang behind 2 balls and no strikes. Over all the years, if you asked Chipper Jones, I mean, he's won a lot of games and he's lost a lot of games. The most painful loss for Chipper would be the 1996 World Series. Ground ball into right field. Ethier was deep, but holding on is Hayward because he certainly respects Andre's arm. So a home run followed by a single to right for Hayward, followed by a single to right for Pastornicky. And now Minor coming up in what certainly would appear to be a bunt situation with 2 on and nobody out. In the 1996 World Series loss to the Yankees, Chipper Jones said it's a nightmare, but he can still see Jim Leyritz hit a 3-run home run. And the 96 World Series went down the drain. Of course, last year was a nightmare year for Atlanta and for Chipper Jones. Remember, they had a 10.5 game lead in the wild card race against St. Louis and let it get away. All right, here's Minor. Couldn't bunt in the 3rd inning. We'll see what he does now. And bunts it foul, 0-1. One thing you can just about bet on, Minor is going to get high fastballs in what you would think to be a sure bunt situation. The high fastball is the toughest pitch to get down on the ground. Usually if you get the bat on it, you're going to pop it up or pop it foul. Rivera was charging the plate. Uribe has to play cautiously at 3rd. Hayward at 2nd, Pastornicky at 1st, nobody out. Dodgers 2, Braves 1, and we're in the 5th inning. 0-1. And he got the bunt down. Harang looks and goes to 1st. So the bunt works. So Pastornicky moves to 2nd. Hayward, the tying run, is 90 feet away. And with 1 out, you have Michael Bourne. Dodgers look to the dugout. How do you play the infield? Well, here in the 5th inning, they play back. Uribe is up and Rivera is up, but Gordon and Ellis are back. So 2-1 Dodgers, but the lead in danger here in the 5th inning. And ball 1 to Michael Bourne. We told you Bourne is basically a ground ball hitter. 2 out of every 3 will be on the ground. But in the 1st inning, he had a long double to right center, and the wind has really picked up, blowing from left to right. 1-0. Sprayed foul upstairs off 3rd. 1-1 to Michael. Bourne has been a catalyst for the Braves' fine play, but remember, they were 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position last night and so far tonight. 1-1. Nice save by A.J. Ellis, and it almost nailed Bourne. 2-1 to count to Michael. 5'11", about 180. Runs very well. Stole as many as 61 bases 2 years ago for Houston. Bourne with 4 runs batted in. 2-2. Bourne, originally a 4th round pick by the Phillies, and made it to Philadelphia briefly in 06 and 07. Then went to Houston, and then last year to the Braves. 2-2. Ball 3. So for Harang, a moment of truth. If he misses, he loads the bases for Martin Prado. Tough moment for Don Mattingly. 3-2. Outfield, Kemp and Hairston are not deep. Ethier fairly so in right. And there's ball 4 to load him up. So Aaron Harang was sailing along nicely. Now all of a sudden up to his hips with the bases loaded, 1 out, and Martin Prado coming up. So Haywood, Pasternicki, and Bourne out on the lines. Harang is not pitching the game certainly that he pitched against San Diego, and not just the numbers. You know, in San Diego he struck out 9 in a row, 13 in the game. So far the Braves have only had 3 swings and misses. That's a high strike. 0-1. Remember, he struck out Freddie Freeman on a bad ball, struck out Minor trying to bunt. That's a totally different game from his game against San Diego. Then again, Atlanta is a totally different team from San Diego. And pop foul, no play, back into the stands. 0-2 to Prado. So A.J. Ellis trying to move things along and get his pitcher out of a jam. Waiting on deck, the left-hand hitting Freddie Freeman. No balls and 2 strikes. Haywood, Pasternicki, and Bourne out on the lines. Prado, by the way, has 2 career grand slams. And just off the plate, a tantalizing fastball at 93, and Prado just let it go by. Prado had a grand slam last year against the Washington Nationals, who will be here, by the way, on the weekend. 1-2. Dodgers 2, Braves 1. 5th inning, bases loaded, 1 out. Haywood at third, Pasternicki at second, Bourne at first. Little ground ball to the hole. That will get the tying run in. The out recorded at first. So Haywood brings it in, and the game is tied up. And Prado, again, reminding you of Mark Ellis. Just make sure he moves the runners along, and in this time he gets a run batted in. So Bourne advances to second, Pasternicki to third. Haywood brings in the tying run. And now the batter is Freddie Freeman with runners at second and third. Freeman, remember, pressing in the first inning with a runner at third, tried to uppercut a pitch up around his eyes and struck out. Ball 1. Last time up, he had a sinking line drive at D. Gordon. Freddie, the player of the week. He had .478, hitting safely in 6 out of 7. Last night when he arrived here, he singled his first 2 at-bats. 2-2 tie. 1-1. Freddie, a big fella, gives you a strike zone. 1-1 to count. 6-5 and about 220. And the breeze blowing out to right. Slicing fly ball to left. Hairston going back to get it. It's over his head, and he makes the catch. Jerry Hairston able to go back and handle that tricky long fly ball. So the Braves get 2, and at the end of 4.5, a 2-2 tie. Dodger Baseball on KCAL 9 is brought to you by your Southern California Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a luxurious Lexus today. Visit Lexus.com. And by Sports Authority, the official sporting goods retailer of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Bottom of the fifth inning in a 2-2 tie. And for the Dodgers in the fifth inning, Jerry Hairston, then Juan Uribe, followed by A.J. Ellis. Hairston singled in the second inning, and he's covered some ground out there in left field. He's doing just for the reasons the Dodgers got him. He can play third, he can play the outfield, give you a pretty good job no matter where he plays. 0-1 the count. Hairston has hit safely in 8 of his last 10 games. Track bat, fly ball, shallow left, coming in a hurry, and he's there now is Prado. Now that sounded like a celery stalk when the ball hit the bat, so one away.
Third baseman, Juan Uribe.
So Hairston a fly ball and Juan Uribe coming up. Minor in the first inning gave up a 1-out fly ball single to Mark Ellis, and then with 2 out, Rivera took him downtown. Since then, he has settled down and allowed just 2 hits. One ball and no strikes. Two and 0. Uribe hit a comebacker in the second inning, turned into a double play. Last night, they were pitching Uribe down and away. A lot of pitches that were way out of the strike zone, and he was able to take them for base hits to right field. This time, he hits one right into the glove of Michael Bourne. 2 out in the fifth inning, and A.J. Ellis coming up. Ellis grounded to third in the second inning. A.J. 0 for 1. Talking briefly to Brian McCann. One catcher to another. Totals are identical. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for each side. In there. 0-1. Mike Minor. Remember that name. And pop fly, Ugla out, Bourne in. It's going to drop amongst the 3 as Hayward finally picks it up. So A.J. gets a pop fly single with 2 out, and that'll bring up Aaron Harang. You know, Saturday at 6:10, Dodgers and Nationals celebrate Don Drysdale and Maury Wills bobblehead night, presented by Bank of America. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. Big D and the mouse that roared. Boy, what a combo. Drysdale and Wills. That was Maury's nickname on the ball club, Mouse. Aaron Harang. Sprayed foul. Davey Lopes had to get out of the way of that one. 1-1, Darren. Dodgers scored 2 in the first. Braves picked up 2 in the fifth inning. And Harang hits one to center, but right to Bourne, and that's that. No runs, 1 hit, a man left, and at the end of 5, a 2-2 tie. game on this day in 1955 at Ebbets Field. Dodgers led 5-3, top of the ninth inning, but the Giants got two to tie it up 5-5. They went to the 10th inning, and the Giants scored 6 times to lead the Dodgers 11-5. The 6th run in the top of the 10th inning scored because Carl Perillo, the brilliant right fielder for the Dodgers, caught what he thought was the 3rd out and trotted in, allowing Alvin Dark to score the 6th run. Wouldn't you know, the Dodgers came back with 5 of their own, and the Giants won the game 11-10. Yep, just another wild game between the Giants and the Dodgers. Let's go back to this one. Two as we motor along to the 6th. Mike Minor made only 9 pitches to retire the Dodgers in the 5th inning. So Harang, who gave up a home run, 2 singles and a walk to get the game tied, now facing Brian McCann. Dodgers load up the right side. So Uribe is all alone between 2nd and 3rd. Brian McCann, outstanding catcher, all-star. Brian with 3 home runs. Hit that on the hands. 2-1 to count. Brian McCann is from Athens, Georgia. That's where the university is. He's the son of the head coach at Marshall University in West Virginia. His dad runs a baseball academy in the Atlanta area. 2-1. And that's going to be into right field, base hit, despite the fact Mark Ellis was playing shallow right. So McCann had lined out and flied out, now singles to right. And Dan Uggla coming up. McCann, as a catcher, doesn't do a lot of running. 2 years ago he stole 5, and last year he stole 3. Uggla, who swings and comes out of his shoes, so you wouldn't expect much of a hit and run kind of a play here. And on deck you have Chipper Jones. Ball 1. One ball and no strikes to Dan Uggla. Fly deep to center, grounded to short, 0 for 2. That name Uggla in Sweden goes all the way back to the 13th century, they say. A long line of noblemen. But you can imagine a kid growing up with the name Uggla, the nicknames that he received. Did it bother him? Well, his father said no, it made him tougher. So Dan just waits, hitting .250, 3 home runs, 9 runs batted in, and then Chipper Jones on deck. Chipper homered in the 5th inning. Remarkable how well he has done on his birthday. Foul back. Scott Elbert, the left-hander, gets up in the Dodger bullpen. 2-2 here in the 6th inning. 87 pitches now made by Aaron Harang. And he's behind 3-1. Walk Pasternicki in the 3rd, walk Bourne in the 5th, and now behind Uggla, 3-1. Three and 2. You figure if it's anywhere in the neighborhood of home plate, Uggla, who swings so hard, is not about to take it. Three and 2. McCann is not going, and there's ball 4. So now Chipper Jones will be coming up in a 2-2 tie with first and second and nobody out.
Third baseman, number 10, Chipper Jones.
Chipper Jones homered. That was the 5th home run that he has hit on his birthday. He has 12 RBIs on his birthday. He was hitting .435. And by the way, when Chipper plays on his birthday, the Braves are 10-2. Now let's see whether Mattingly is going to bring in Scott Elbert. 2 on, nobody out, 2-2. For Chipper Jones, by the way, he's hitting .400 right-handed, .211 left-handed. So we'll see. They would probably like to keep Chipper hitting left-handed. Though Mattingly appears to be holding court, not ready to make a move. Chipper Jones was talking before the ball game, interviewed by the press, and they asked him about his long career. Has he played in every ballpark? And he said no. He said he has not played in Kansas City. He has played against Kansas City, but not in Kansas City. And it's interesting, in his 40th year, the All-Star game will be in Kansas City. So here's Chipper. 2 on, nobody out. That wasn't even close. Ball 1. 1-0. As we mentioned, Chipper has paid the price. He's been on the DL 12 times. 12 times in 19 years. Surgically repaired left knee. Fouled away, 1-1. No active position player has been on the DL more than Chipper Jones. As we mentioned, Terry Wood has been on 16 times. Josh Beckett 13 times. Chipper 12 times. 1-1. That's in there. 1-2. Interestingly enough, Nick Punto of the Red Sox, a utility man, is only 34. He's been on the DL 12 times, and his career didn't even start till 2001. Missed with the low fastball at 93. 2-2 to Chipper Jones. Larry is his first name, but I don't know of anyone who calls him Larry. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a comebacker. Harang goes to his shortstop, Gordon, who does a circus effort to get the double play. D. Gordon somehow or other made 2. Taking third is McCann. Gordon, who is quite an athlete, and watch the movement on this comebacker to Harang. First the throw. There he had a spirit. Then he had a leap over the sliding Ugla and still got it to nail Jones. So 1-6-3, fine double play. McCann is now at third base, and the batter Haywood, and they're not going to mess around with him. They'll walk him intentionally. Second walk of the inning. And the batter will be the young shortstop, Tyler Pasternicki. So in a moment, we'll have first and third, 2 out, 6th inning in a 2-2 tie. I was looking at Aaron Harang, and all of a sudden the story came to mind. Aaron wears number 44. Henry Aaron, the great Brave, wore number 44. 3 of the 4 times that Henry Aaron led the National League in home runs, he hit 44 home runs. The night that Henry Aaron broke Babe Ruth's mark in Atlanta, the pitcher, Al Downing, wore number 44. Hello. Just hit me. All right, first and third, 2 out. And here's Mike Minor. Pastornicky with Minor on deck. Pastornicky has walked, singled, squirts it foul, 0-1. 2 runs, 5 hits, and no errors. Jason Hayward at first. Ryan McCann at third. No balls, 1 strike. Oh, and 2. Young Pastornicky hitting in the 8th slot. Dodgers trying to get out of the inning at his expense. He's 22. Mattingly perhaps sending out some signs. A.J. Ellis keeping the infield alive. The base runner Hayward, of course, is concerned. He runs very well. He's 6 for 6. 2 strikes on the number 8 hitter. And gets away from Ellis. Here comes McCann to score. And down to second goes Hayward. A killer wild pitch to break the tie. Especially when you consider you're pitching with 2 out to a 190 hitter. And he just bounced it. And he got away from Ellis. So a very expensive wild pitch. And the Braves take a 3-2 lead. For Aaron Harang, that would be his first wild pitch of the year. Came at a rather painful time. 1-2. Fouled away. 3 runs, 5 hits for the Braves, 2 runs, 5 hits for the Dodgers, and we're in the 6th inning. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom half, it'll be Gordon, Ellis, and Kemp. 1-2 to Tyler Pastornicky. Fouled away. He's getting hard stuff at 93 after that curveball in the dirt. One ball and 2 strikes. Last night, the local boy Jack Wilson played short. The veteran giving way to the youngster. 2-2. Wilson last night went 0 for 4. So it's Pastornicky's turn. He has a walk and a base hit as Jack looks on. Pride of Westlake Village and Thousand Oaks. No, last time I heard, Jack Wilson's dad worked in the post office, Thousand Oaks. High bouncer over the mound, going behind the bag is Ellis. No play, but he's watching Hayward. So it's an infield single for Pastornicky. But Ellis going to be sure he wasn't going to throw late to first and let Hayward come home.
Pitcher, number 36.
So an infield single, and that'll bring up Mike Minor. Good heads up play by the veteran Ellis. All he's thinking of is Hayward. So first and third, 2 out. Minor has struck out trying to bunt and sacrificed. 3-2 Braves in the 6th. Fastball pop foul off first. Well out of play. That fastball at 91. Oh, 1 the count to Mike Minor. Braves scored 2 in the 5th inning to tie, and they get a go-ahead run here in the 6th. They have Jason Hayward at third, Tyler Pastornicky at first, and the pitcher Mike Minor at the plate. And a ground ball to Gordon. Tricky little hop, but he makes the play to Ellis. So the inning is over, but not before the Braves get a go-ahead run. And at the end of 5 1/2, they lead the Dodgers 3-2. Before we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, here's the Dodger calendar. Upcoming games tomorrow at 7 o'clock, KCAL 9. That'll be Brandon Beachy and Ted Lilly. Thursday, an open date. And then on the weekend, the Nationals will be here. Friday, Saturday at 6, and Sunday at 1. All 3 of the National games on Prime Ticket. The pitching for the weekend with the Nationals. And because of the rain, we missed that possible great matchup, Steven Strasburg and Clayton Kershaw. So it's going to be Ross Detweiler against Kershaw. Then Chad Billingsley will go up against Steven Strasburg. And then Chris Capuano against Gio Gonzalez. Big weekend with the Nationals, who are playing great ball. D. Gordon struck out, grounded to third, 0 for 2, hitting .231. They pull up the corners. Jones and Freeman look bunt. Outfield to left field. Prado very shallow, and the ball's going to be sliced foul to left. 0-2. Location, location, location. Real estate and the big leagues. So they give D Olive straightaway right, and Prado very shallow and left. With 2 strikes, Freeman is back, but Jones is still out. 1-2. Off the plate, 2-2. Braves leading 3-2. The Dodgers have won 5 of 7 against left-handed starters. Matt Kemp hits after Ellis. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a shot up the middle, base hit. So Gordon opens up with a single. The tying run is aboard. And the batter will be Mark Ellis. For the Dodgers, they now have 6 hits to go with their 2 runs. Mark Ellis single to right, fly to center, checking with Wallach to see what they want him to do. Among other things, will they put the handcuffs on Mark to see if Gordon can steal a base? Remember, Minor has a good move. Braves 3, Dodgers 2, bottom of the 6th, nobody out. Ellis at the plate, Kemp on deck. Ball 1. Ellis again, checking with Wallach. Taken all the way. That's part of the ability of a good number 2 hitter. So often he winds up in a hole with a rabbit at first base. 1 ball and 1 strike. And that's going to go into left field for a base hit. So Matt Kemp will be coming up, and the table is set. 2 on, nobody out, and the Braves leading 3-2.
Center fielder, number 27, Matt Kemp.
So for Freddie Gonzalez, an anxious moment right after he took the lead. We have Kemp, Rivera, and Ethier, and young Mike Minor is waiting in the deep water. They are moving around in the Atlanta bullpen. No action yet, but there will be in a moment. Minor, in looking, has just 2 strikeouts, and one of them's a pitcher. Chris Medlin, a right-hander, gets up in the Atlanta pen. So Minor, who is basically a finesse pitcher, now facing Kemp. 3-2 Braves, nobody out, 6th inning. Matt fooled on that pitch. Change. 0-1. Boy, don't you think it takes a little guts? You got a guy like Kemp at the plate, 2 on, nobody out, and you start him with a change. He has a veteran all-star catcher in Brian McCann, but as we told you, Mike is a very independent thinker. 1-1. They were saying as young as he is, he will shake off his catcher more times than just about anybody else on the Atlanta staff. 1-1. Kemp flied to right, single to center. Ground ball to short. They're going to get one. Ugla bounces it, and Freeman can't make it. And here comes Gordon to score. Did Kemp turn? They'll tag him, but he didn't turn. And the Braves are going to appeal, saying that Kemp had turned towards second base. Freddie Gonzalez now telling his players to stay away. The first base umpire is Alan Porter. And Porter is saying to Freddie, take it easy now. So Kemp hits into a force play. 6-4. The throw to first in the dirt. Freeman could not make the play, so Gordon just kept on coming and score. Now, Freddie Gonzalez has asked the first base umpire Porter to confer with Cousins, Culpa, and Wolf. So in a moment, we'll see. It's 3-3 with 1 out for the moment. Take another look. Just watch Kemp. Will he turn after he hustles down the line when the ball gets away? He sees it get away. He sees. Well, he took one step, but he was 25 feet down the line. So let's see. In the hands of the umpires. And of course, if Matt is allowed to stay at first, he is certainly a threat to steal. All right, the umpires are in agreement, and they are calling Kemp out. Matt's not going to argue. Mattingly will go out there to represent him. So that makes it 2 out. Once you make a step towards second base, it's a commitment. So all the Braves, starting with Brian McCann, all felt that Matt had made the turn. He was really turning around telling Gordon, and now you see him step, just one step. Porter had his back to him anyway. That's it right there. And that's when they tagged him. So Don is having a discussion with an umpire who's been in the big leagues 33 years, Darryl Cousins. 3 runs, 7 hits for the Dodgers. 3 runs, 6 hits for the Braves. So Freddie Gonzalez won his point for the second out. The Dodgers, however, on that bounce throw to first that got away, got the tying run home. So the batter will be Juan Rivera, who hit a 2-run home run and hit into a double play. And he comes up with the bases empty as opposed to 1 out and a runner at first. So 2 down, Rivera hitting .250, hit that big home run, second level in left field. Oh, and 1. There'll be an error charged to Dan Ugla on that bounce throw that eventually led to Matt Kemp being called out. Put out will go to Freeman, and there will not be a run batted in. That's off the glove, over to the right side, no play, and Rivera's aboard. So that'll bring up Andre Ethier, and that'll be a base hit for Rivera. He goes 2 for 3. A shot back off the glove, and perhaps a little bit on the leg. No play for Freeman. See what Rivera might have done. He acts like he hurt his left leg a little bit. Around the knee. Now he's bending the right leg. So he had some trouble on that. Let's take another look. He hits. He runs. Slows down. So whatever he did it on the swing. And the Dodgers now double checking to make sure he's okay. Well, they're going to take Rivera out of the game. I would expect to see Loney come in. We'll just wait and see. So with 2 out, Rivera literally and figuratively singles off Minor, and there's James getting ready to pick up. Rivera showing no signs of injury, but when he got to first base, it looked like both knees were bothering him. So here's Loney to take over and then stay in the game at first. A 3-3 tie. Rivera riding an emotional elevator. He was in the penthouse with that 2-run home run. Now I'm sure a little discouraged. He also made a brilliant defensive play. But then he's heading for the clubhouse. So Andre Ethier lined out to second, flied to center. 0 for 2, hitting .299. They're not going to hold Loney. Freeman is directly behind him at first base with a left-hand hitter up there. And a fly ball, very playable. Haywood is there. And that'll be that. The Dodgers wind up with 3 hits and a run. And at the end of 6, a 3-3 tie. To pick up for Aaron Harang. Harang went 6. He made 108 pitches. He apparently lost some of the sharpness that he had in the early going. So Elbert, who is rarely used, which makes his job extremely difficult. Now he's brought in a tied up game in the 7th inning. Michael Bourne, Martin Prado, and then Freddie Freeman. So 2 of the first 3 hitters are left-handed. Ball 1. So Harang allowed 3 runs, 6 hits, no decision at the end of 6. Did he swing? Yes. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bourne doubled to right center, flied to left, and walked. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-2. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Josh Lindblom begins to warm up. Dodger bullpen has been a major force in the team's success so far. 2-2. Nice pick by AJ. Scott Elbert out of Joplin, Missouri, and that city victimized, as I'm sure you remember. He was a Dodger #1 pick back in 2004. Elbert 6'1", 215. He'll be 27. Fastball, slider, change. 3-2. Fastball hit in the air. Ethier coming up. So for Bourne tonight, one of those rare games where he hits more balls in the air than on the ground. 1 away, and Martin Prado grounded out twice in the 3rd inning, robbed of a hit, a dazzling play by Juan Rivera, and then last time up grounded out again. Prado hitting .246 and ball 1. Mike Minor, pitching for Atlanta, has made only 78 pitches in 6 innings. So 13 pitches an inning. He's been breezing. His first inning, Minor made 20 pitches, but after that, a low count, including as few as 9. So Ellis and Elbert put their heads together, waiting on deck. The left-hand hitting Freddie Freeman. 1 out, 7th inning, 3-3 tie. Fouled away. Pretty good fastball at 91. They always talk about how the ball comes out of his hand easily or otherwise. With Elbert, he really attacks. He is as far from finesse as he can be. Three and 1. If they get into a battle of the bullpens, last year the Braves bullpen was really dynamite. Popped up, shallow left, Gordon out, Hairston in. Hairston 2 out. Last year, Atlanta's bullpen had 536 strikeouts. Not only the most in the majors, the most in franchise history. For Freddie Gonzalez, his bullpen averaged more than 9 strikeouts per 9 innings. They had the best bullpen in many ways of any team in the major leagues. Be interesting to see how they hold up this year. And a strike to Freddie Freeman. Freddie struck out, lined out, and flied out deep to left. Hit it a long way, and it was a nice play, although a somewhat awkward catch by Jerry Hairston. Fly ball to center. Starting back was Kemp. Now he comes in. So 3 fly balls. Scott Elbert does the job. And at the end of 6.5 innings, a 3-3 tie. And the crowd will be asked to stand. They'll have God Bless America and then take me out to the ball game.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to rise and join in the singing of God Bless America. Please welcome back Tyler Lillisall.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Well, it's push against shove now in a 3-3 tie, bottom of the 7th inning. The Dodgers brought in Elbert in relief of Harang, and the Braves bring in Chris Medlin in relief of Mike Minor. Chris Medlin is from Artesia, California, went to Santa Ana Junior College, 5'10", 175. He'll be 27 in October. Originally drafted by the Devil Rays out of high school, but he opted to attend El Camino Junior College, then transferred to Southern Cal Junior College, Santa Ana. He was a pitcher and he played shortstop, and the Braves drafted him in the 10th round in 2006. Throws hard. His fastball clocked as high as 94. And the first man to take a look at him will be Jerry Hairston. Fastball in the dirt to the backstop. With the Fastburg, he also has a hard curve and a slider and a change. Medlin sometimes works very, very quickly. They try to slow him down a little bit. That's a strike. 1-1. He slowed down a bit when he was a starter, but he's back to it in relief. Picked up his first major league victory 2 years ago against Arizona. Fastball popped up. Freeman. Freddie waiting. One away. So Hairston going after a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, pops it up, and the batter now will be Juan Uribe. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Kenley Jansen begins to warm up. Juan Uribe hit a comebacker that was turned into a double play and flied to center. That's a strike. Remember, we told you about the Braves bullpen last year. Pretty tough act to follow. Medlin has an earned run average of 2. One and one. Chris, an excellent fielding pitcher. That's squirted to the hole. Ugla makes the play, and a good pick by Freddie Freeman. So last night that ball goes through for a base hit for Uribe, but not tonight.
Dodger catcher number 17, A.J. Ellis.
Nice play by Freddie, and then he gets out of the way. So 2 down. A.J. Ellis coming up, grounded to third, single to center. In the 8th inning, when the Braves hit, it'll be McCann, Ugla, and then Chipper Jones. That's going to go up the middle. So Ellis, a ground single up the middle. So a 2-out base hit, and we'll see about Scott Elbert. A reminder, if you're hitting the road, you can take the Dodgers with you this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today. See every Dodger out of market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit Dodgers.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Adam Kennedy will come off the bench. Now, last night, Kennedy came off and sacrificed, but he's coming up now with 2 out and a runner at first, and Freddie Gonzalez is not going to wait. So Medlin gives up a 2-out single. He'll be giving way to the bullpen, and we'll be right back. Is brought to you by the all-new Chevy Cruze Eco, available to order. Chevy runs deep. And by Farmer John. Taste the local flavor. Eric O'Flaherty by Bigora, 6'2", 195, 27 years old, left-handed all the way, originally drafted by the Mariners, and he was the first Seattle hurler to begin his major league career with 6 consecutive victories. He did it all in relief. Well, here he is with a runner at first facing Adam Kennedy. Big breaking ball for a strike, and the count 0-1. Kennedy, the tough job, 1 for 14 coming off the bench. With O'Flaherty, you get fastball, slider. He has a cutter and a changeup. 0-1. O'Flaherty was going to go to Oregon State coming out of Walla Walla High School, but signed with the Mariners. 27 years old. and originally came up to the big leagues with the Mariners in '06. That's when he won his first 6. Comebacker, and O'Flaherty lobs it to first, and that'll do it. No runs, 1 hit, a man left, and at the end of 7, a 3-3 tie. Is brought to you by Carl's Jr. $6 burgers made with 100% Black Angus beef, and by Dodge. Visit us at Dodge.com or see your local dealer today. 8th inning in a 3-3 tie. The Dodgers, having batted for Elbert, go to the bullpen to bring in big Kenley Jansen, who has been as effective as his size. Opposition is hitting 135 against Kenley Jansen. He's had 17 strikeouts in 10 2/3 innings. So the big boy, the kid from Curacao, by the way, Jair Jurgens from Curacao, who pitched so ineffectively last night, who was an all-star last year. After the game last night, they sent Jurgens back to the minor leagues. So the old story, it's tough to get here. It's even tougher to stay here. It'll be Brian McCann, Dan Ugla, and then Chipper Jones. 8th inning, 3-3. Brian McCann lined out, flied out, single to right. And ball 1. The Dodgers throw up that triangle defense again. McCann in the past 1 for 2 against Kenley Jansen. And misses 2 in a row, each time at 93. Jansen, the remarkable story of a catcher. Suddenly converted to a reliever par excellence. Right. In mentioning Jurgens' chances of 2 kids from Curacao pitching in the big leagues, they were neighbors. Played youth ball. They were teammates. Now behind 3-1 to Brian McCann. Dodgers using Harang for 6, Elbert for 1, and now Kenley. 3-1. Foul back, 3-2. 3 runs, 6 hits for the Braves, 3 runs, 9 hits for the Dodgers. Juan Rivera hit a 2-run home run in the first inning. Chipper Jones homered, and the Braves added a tying run in the 5th. And they each scored a run in the 6th. High fly ball to deep right. Ethier at the wall. So McCann comes close, but no cigar. One away in the 8th inning. And that'll bring up Dan Uggla. Uggla flied to center, grounded to short, and walked. Dan is 0 for 2. Homered last night. Uggla has a little 6-game hitting streak. That's nothing compared to the 33-game hitting streak he had last year. Ball 1. Uggla commands a great deal of respect, especially in a tied-up game late in that game. Coming off 36 home runs, a record for a second baseman last year. 1-1. The paid attendance tonight, 44,014. 44,014. 1-2 to Uggla. They're going to check. No swing, says Alan Porter. And the count 2-2 to Dan Uggla. Chipper waiting on deck. And he's late on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Smoke City here, right down the middle. And here's Chipper. Jones flied to center, homered, and hit back to the box, turned into a double play. Chipper, as a switch hitter, has 457 home runs now. He is third. Mantle 536, Murray 504, and Chipper 457. With all the success that Chipper Jones has had, you have to realize what a frustrated organization the Atlanta Braves have been. They've had 11 painful seasons ending in playoff losses. 11 of them. No surprise that Chipper hit a home run on his birthday. Here at Dodger Stadium, he's been in 59 games, hitting about 240. Over that stretch, including tonight, in his career, 13 home runs, 34 runs batted in here. 3-1. Hard ground foul. Tell you one thing, he's 40 years old. That was a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and he really turned on it. It's the left knee, the back leg, when he's hitting left-handed, that was surgically repaired. And he held up. So Chipper, a 2-out walk. And the batter will be Jason Hayward. Jason Hayward flied to center, single to right, scored a run, and walked intentionally. Last night, he went 1 for 4. I'm a little surprised with a left-hand hitter at the plate. And Chipper Jones, the runner. I don't think you expect Chipper, playing on that tender knee and 40 years old, to see him try to steal. In his career, You'd have to go way back, maybe 13, 14 years ago, when he stole 25 bases. He was an MVP that year. But the last few years, 2 stolen bases, 4 stolen bases, but they're holding him on. One and one. We mentioned it last night. Dodger pitchers have been very effective against young Hayward in bringing him up to date. 1 for 2 and a high foul ball down the line. A trio of Dodgers, and they're a buck short. So to look at Jason Hayward, he was 1 for 4 last night, 1 for 2 tonight, so 2 for 6. So he is 4 for 37 in his career at Dodger Stadium. Yet every time he comes up, he's one more at-bat experience and one more problem. So Chipper standing at first with 2 out, 8th inning, 3-3 tie. One and two. Well, Jansen strikes out 2, walks 1. Hayward comes up empty again. And at the end of 7.5, a 3-3 tie. It'll be D. Gordon, Mark Ellis, and then Matt Kemp against the left-hander Eric O'Flaherty, who was about as tough as it was in the big leagues last year. He was in 78 games, and his earned run average was less than 1, 0.98. That was the lowest in Major League history of any pitcher with 75 or more innings. So here's Gordon, 1 for 3. Tries to drag a bunt. 0-1 to count. Chipper Jones and Freddie Freeman always shorten up with Gordon. No balls, 1 strike. Little ground ball to Freeman, and he'll beat D to the bag. So 1 away in the 8th inning. Gordon goes 1 for 4, and Mark Ellis coming up. He's 2 for 3. O'Flaherty not only had that remarkable year with the low earned run average, he also had 32 holes. Then somebody else would come in and get the save. Ball one. Ellis hitting .267 with 2 RBIs. On deck, Matt Kemp. Matt is 1 for 3. That's a strike. 2-1. Eric O'Flaherty out of Walla Walla, Washington. His dad works for the post office. His mom is a nurse. And he's the third of 4 children. Mark Ellis, meanwhile, trying to get something going here. 1 out, 8th inning, 3-3. Dodgers with the top of the order in the 8th, and the Braves with the bottom of the order in the 9th. Overthrowing, got to 91. 3-2. Ground ball to Ugla. So 2 down, bases empty, and Matt Kemp will be coming up. Remember, James Loney is hitting back of Kemp. That might make a big difference. When Rivera was in the lineup, the right-hand batter was hitting behind Kemp. Now with O'Flaherty out there and Kemp coming up, you just wonder if they'll even bother to give Matt a chance to hit one here. Loney is 1 for 3 in the past against O'Flaherty. Matt Kemp faced him just once and he walked him. Well, McCann in a crouch, so let's see. They load up the left side. Ugla has crossed over to the shortstop side at second, and he starts him with a strike. The outfield, however, Bourne is in slightly right center. So there's a huge gap in left center field. 0-1. Down and away. Freddie Freeman all alone on the right side in the infield. 1 ball and 1 strike. Down again. 2-1. If you're thinking about it, O'Flaherty has been in 5 games. He's allowed 1 home run. 2 balls, 1 strike. Everything down, ball 3. So James Loney waits on deck. And they really didn't want him. So Kemp draws the walk, to no surprise. Interesting for Braves pitching tonight. That is the first walk they've given up, and it comes to Kemp in the 8th inning with 2 out. So Loney, who gave way to Rivera, and Rivera homered, singled, made a fine defensive play, but apparently hurt either one or both knees. Now we get a report it's a hamstring. So I guess when he was shaking his knees, he was really trying to shake the hamstring, the left hamstring for Rivera. So now you have the battle inside the WAR with O'Flaherty, the left-hander, trying to keep Kemp quiet and get Loney at the same time. Kemp has 1 stolen base, and he's been caught twice. Missed inside, ball 1. Hitting after Loney is Ethier. 1-1. As far as numbers are concerned, Loney hitting in the 260s against right-hand pitching, but hitting just 182 against left-handers. James has sit safely in his last 5. Eric O'Flaherty, 1 ball and 1 strike. Fastball a little low, and he hits 92. That's pretty good. You talk about the high hard one. He's throwing below the knees at 92. Of course, sometimes that's playing to Loney's strength. He likes the ball down. And that's a strike. Breaking ball. 2-2 the count to James. 2 out, 8th inning, 3-3. Pastornicky, then O'Flaherty, and then Michael Bourne in the 9th. Whoa, a great save by Freddie Freeman. So Freddie makes a big save. That thing is down the line. Kemp is at least at second. Watch Freddie go up the ladder. Trips over Kemp. Makes the play. And Loney ground ball to Ugla. Okay, we are heading to the 9th with the Braves 3 and the Dodgers 3. Has now come to their closer, Javi Guerra. So it's been Aaron Harang for 6, Scott Elbert for an inning, Kenley Jansen for an inning, and now Javi Guerra. For the Braves, it's been Mike Minor, Chris Medlin, and Eric O'Flaherty. For the Braves in the 9th inning, the young shortstop, Tyler Pastornicky. Eric Hinsky comes out on deck, veteran outfielder, and then Michael Bourne. The Javi Guerra ready to go to work in the 9th inning of a 3-3 tie. Tyler Pastornicky has walked, single to right, and had an infield single up the middle, so he is 2 for 2. And 1. Pastornicky has his average up over 200 with a couple of base hits. Poke foul, out of play. For Javi Guerra, the Dodger closer, he's 1-1, ERA a little over 2. Walked 3, struck out 10. On deck, Eric Hinsky, left-hand hitter. Ball one. That was at 96. So Guerra, who had Tommy John surgery back in 2005, has certainly bounced back nicely. Last year with the Dodgers, he held the opposition to a .218 batting average. Almost nicked him. This year, the opposition is hitting .160 against Javi Guerra. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And a base hit to right field. So the young shortstop having a big night. A walk and 3 singles. Eric Hinsky, who was on deck, will not come up. They'll go back to the dugout. And they're going to bring up Jack Wilson, who played shortstop last night. And Wilson went 0 for 4.
The Braves, number 2, Jack Wilson.
Checking Wilson's numbers, the first thing you think about, will he bunt? He does have a sacrifice. Uribe well in on the grass at third. Michael Bourne, the leadoff hitter, is on deck. Wilson is hitting only $1.25, so you're looking bunt. And he got it down, fielded by Loney, who has to make the play to Ellis. So Wilson comes off the bench, gets the bunt down, and moves past Nicky into scoring position.
Center fielder number 24, Michael Bourne.
So Michael Bourne, the leadoff hitter, who has had a bit of an odd night. As we mentioned, he hits ground balls at least twice as much as fly balls. Tonight, however, he's had 3 balls in the air. One of them went for a double. D. Gordon really trying to bird dog past Nicky at short. And a strike. 0-1. Bourne with 4 runs batted in. With his double in the first inning, he has hit safely in 11 of his last 12. Hitting back of him is Martin Prado. That was at 94, and the count 0-2. Bourne certainly trying to make contact. He has struck out 11 times so far this year. Oh, 0-2. Fouled away. Tomorrow night, the concluding game of the 3-game series. Brandon Beachy with a record of 2-1 against Ted Lilly. 2 wins, no losses. Thursday an off day. Friday night, the Nationals. No balls and 2 strikes. Got him. So Guerra coming up and in at 92. A big strikeout to take care of Bourne. Right up in there. And the batter will be Martin Prado. Prado grounded out 3 times. Once, Juan Rivera playing first took a hit away from him. He's 0 for 4. In this series, the Braves have really had a bad time offensively. With runners in scoring position in the 2 games, right now, they are 1 for 15. And a strike. Braves came in here with big numbers offensively. They were 3rd in the league in home runs, second highest total bases. Everything was their way, and they have struggled against Dodger pitching. Fouled away. So Prado is now in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes. Of course, for the Braves, after going 0 for 6 last night, they had Michael Bourne lead off the game with a double and promptly were 0 for 9 with a runner in scoring position. So Guerra now trying to put Prado away with Pasternicki at second. 2 out, 3-3 in the 9th. Fouled away. No balls and 2 strikes. Fouled away again. Martin Prado, who can play third base and shortstop. He even played a little second base, and he's in left field tonight. 0-2. Off speed, and that thing almost got away. You would think a pitch that high he was overthrowing, but it was only 83. It just slipped. So the man from Maracay in Venezuela up there against Javi Guerra. Javi from Denton, Texas. Little foul ball, that's going to go out of play. We had 44,014 tonight. Seeing a very tough ball game. Dodgers led 2-0 through 4 innings. Braves tied it in the 5th. Each side scored in the 6th. So we're 3-3 in the 9th. Dodgers have Ethier, Hairston, and Uribe in the bottom of the 9th. And a fly ball. Kemp going back, way back to the track at the wall. Can't make the play. Lost sight of the ball. Prado is on his way for 3, and he will be in there. Meanwhile, Pasternicki scored, and the Braves take a 4-3 lead. So Martin Prado, with 1 home run this year, hits it a long way. Kemp went back on the ball and then realized it was hit even harder than he thought. Didn't quite touch the ball, but he certainly touched the wall. Up he goes. Didn't glove it. And Prado with a 2-out triple to give the Braves a 4-3 lead. And the batter, Freddie Freeman. Ground ball to Gordon. He gets him. However, the Braves get the run. For Prado, that was a very tough at bat. Remember, he fouled off 3 pitches with 2 strikes and then tripled his team ahead. Head to give the Braves a 4-3 lead, and now the Braves bring their closer in, Craig Kimbrell. Every now and then in life, someone takes a bad happenstance and turns it into gold, and that certainly would be the case of Craig Kimbrell. Back in the summer of 2006, Craig was helping his father install wire in a house that's under construction when 800 pounds of sheetrock fell on his left foot, snapping it nearly in half. As Craig said, the only bone that didn't break was the little toe. However, he decided that he was not going to quit, and on his knees he began to throw with a manager or a trainer helping to catch the ball. That was before he went to Wallace State Community College. He's facing Andre Ethier, 0-1. And Kimbrell, because he was throwing from his knees, got so strong, they say from his knees he could throw the ball about 100 yards, 300 feet. So he had a huge development of the muscles in his back and the shoulders of his right arm. 0-2. Somewhat of an amazing story. Right now he just threw at 99. Kimbrell is 5'11", 205 pounds. He was last year's Rookie of the Year. He had 46 saves and all 32 first place votes. And that will do it on a pitch in the dirt, and McCann gets it to Freeman. So down goes Ethier, one away. So amazing what a young man can do in the face of adversity with a mangled foot. And here he is on top of the world, much to his credit. Kimbrell, his earned run average 1.5. He has walked 5, struck out 10. Opposition hitting in the 220s. And now Jerry Hairston will face him. Kimbrell unorthodox as he crouches to get the sign. Foul back. He's right there again, 98. For Hairston, single to center, fly to left, popped up. 1-4-3. On one. Sneaks that a little low. As Craig Kimbrell says, breaking my foot was probably one of the best things to ever happen to me. 1-1. Foul back, 1-2, and he's right back at 99 again. One ball and 2 strikes. You get a fastball, slider, and a change. Craig from Huntsville, Alabama, a 3rd-round pick by the Braves, went to Wallace State Community College in Alabama. 1-2. Ground ball up the middle. Wilson can't get it, and it's a base hit for Hairston. So Juan Uribe will be coming up, and Hairston goes 2 for 4.
Third baseman, number 5, Juan Uribe.
So the Dodgers still alive here in the 9th inning. 1 out. A.J. Ellis on deck. Uribe hit into a double play, fly to center, grounded to second, backs off a breaking ball for a strike. That breaking ball was 86 after all of 99-mile-an-hour fastballs. Matt Kemp, they had that ball go over his head for the long triple and the go-ahead run. Can only watch right now. Oh, and 1. Off the plate. It was back in spring training in 2010. Billy Wagner, who was a very hard-throwing closer, and Wagner was the one who told Kimbrel, forget about the windup. And as Kimbrel says, by no longer winding up, it helps him repeat his delivery. One and 1. Tying run, Hairston at first with 1 out. 1 and 2. And again, Kimbrel taking something off the fastball. That was in the high 80s. Billy Wagner had an important philosophy. He said, understand, if you have a better chance of getting the guy behind the current hitter, you don't have to go right at the current hitter. 1 and 2. Uribe chasing a bad ball way off the plate. Slider at 87. So the Dodgers have Ethier and Uribe strike out, and the batter will be A.J. Ellis. 4 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error for Atlanta. 3 runs, 10 hits, and no errors for the Dodgers. A.J. Ellis has grounded to third and twice single to center. They are keeping an eye on Hairston, of course. Jerry has been in 11 games. He has 1 stolen base, and he's been caught once. Tony Gwynn comes out of the Dodger dugout with 2 out. Tying run at first. Braves leading 4-3 in the bottom of the 9th. Ball 2. Freddie Gonzalez certainly relied on Kimbrel last year, and it was well worth it with 46 saves. And ball 3. Kimbrel has saved 5 coming into this game. So behind Ellis, 3 balls and no strikes. 2 out in the 9th. 4-3 Atlanta. And he walked him. So the Dodgers now have the tying run at second with 2 out, and Tony Gwynn coming up. So Gwynn batting for Javi Guerra. For Tony coming off the bench, he's hitting .250. As a pinch hitter, he is 1 for 4 with a run batted in. So it has come down to this: 2 on, 2 out, 9th inning, 4-3 Braves. And a strike. Gwynn just 0 for 1 against Kimbrel last year. Pretty tough to be sitting in that dugout until the bottom of the 9th inning and then go up there facing the guy throwing 98 and 99. Check swing, going to cost him a strike. He took so much off it